you're driving along and I want to put the windscreen wipers on, but I can feel the windscreen wiper button, but I don't know if it's on because there's a little light that comes on that I can't see, totally obscured by the steering wheel. Ah, that was good. So I moved the steering wheel and I can see the button. Brilliant. All you have to do, if you want to know whether you enabled the auto wipers on your BMW M3, is go around a corner and turn them on. And then the steering wheel's at a different position and you can see the light. Other than that, it can be crazy annoying. Allow me to do an impression of the radio in this car. This car did not come with the £280 DAB digital radio extra that it could have done, and some would arguably say should have done. Anyway, net result is that the FM radio reception in this car is rubbish. It's just staticky, interfery. Doesn't give you a nice clear crystal sound. In the middle of the center console on the BMW M3 E93 model, this one, convertible, folding tin top, hard top, metal top, whatever you want to call it, there are 3 buttons on the center console. One for power, as Jeremy Clarkson might say, one for EDC, which I believe is electronic damper control, and one for DSC, which is, I'm guessing, dynamic stability control, both of which you can play around with, and both of which, or all of which, are enabled in some way, shape or form depending on your configuration of the wonderful button, which is a white M circled with a white circle on the steering wheel, which basically means madness mode from what I can tell, but in all reality it probably means sport mode, which I prefer madness, to be honest. So yeah, the buttons on the center console, of which there are 3, you probably hardly, if ever, press these buttons in your life. As a consequence, whoever designed this car probably didn't put a lot of effort into the strength of these buttons, because on the odd occasion I have to push these buttons, the buttons fall off and come away in your hand, which is just crazy, very disappointing. Phone BMW, they only do the usual story, they only do the whole button pack as a whole unit, and it's about £180, which for 3 buttons that you hardly ever use, quite frankly, I'll live with it. It's not worth it. So you may already know this, but if you've ever had, and I'm not sure if it's the same with other convertibles, I think it possibly is, I've only ever had one other German convertible that wasn't a BMW, and that was a Porsche Boxster. The glove box can only be opened using a key, which I guess, and I'm sure if I read the manuals it would probably tell me all the justifications and reasons about it, but I'm guessing it's from a pure, total and utter security point of view. So that's kind of fair enough. The awkward thing being that in this 2008 BMW, and probably all subsequent BMWs, the key is not really part of the key fob. It's kind of embedded because it's a keyless entry car, so you just basically get a remote fob, and the real key is kind of discreetly, neatly hidden in there, and unless you're really observant, unless you're really observant, you won't have found that key. And that's what you need to get into the glove box, to the point where, crazily enough, the salesman, when I bought this car, actually told me that the glove box didn't work, and I was like, yes it does. I've had a BMW convertible before, this is what you need to do, which was poor form on his part, if you ask me. When you're buying a car that's not very cheap. So the other thing that drives me crazy, and I suppose it's not any problem really to do with the car, it's a victim of technological evolution, if that's a word, or evolution, technological evolution. The iDrive that comes in this car, and just by virtue of the fact that regularly and was significantly updated in around 2011, I think. Just goes to show how much things have moved on from kind of computer technology embedded within cars, because really and truly this one from 2008, it frustrates and infuriates more than it provides enjoyment, to the point where I just do not use it. I don't use the navigation, I don't use the radio, largely because the reception's rubbish. I suppose I use the integrated Bluetooth that is paired to my phone. All the other entertainment-y type features and menu galore, and the service indicators. But other than that, so I know roughly when this thing needs to be serviced. Other than that, I'm not looking at or using or really caring about that iDrive. I have a little, this car came, which I believe was also an optional extra in the glove box. It came with a little 3.5mm auxiliary port, and in there you can attach a Bluetooth wireless, and you can just pair to that and pump all your tunes, music, whatever you like from your phone directly into that. So literally in the morning I come in, I switch that on, and I load up the radio app on my phone, and that's what I use for my radio. It gives a heck of a lot of a better signal, believe it or not, over 3G, 4G, etc. than the standard FM that's built into the unit. So one other thing that I find slightly annoying in this car, and I don't know whether it's by design or just wear and tear, but the boot struts for the boot, when you open it, look a little bit tired or feel a little bit tired. You kind of have to hoik the boot up when you open it. I'll probably need to do a bit more research on that. If anybody knows, just do let me know, because maybe they are tired, but maybe they're not. Maybe it is by design, and because it's part of the convertible metal folding tin top roof, it's supposed to be like that. I don't know. Anyway, the boot feels heavy. Most of you will know, if you're familiar with the 3 Series, there's different spec levels and trims, and I think BMW have fairly much remained consistent with these types of model designations over the years. So you get things like the SE, sport models, etc. Obviously, being the M3, you would kind of expect this to be the top of the range, the sporty model. So really, and this is more down to personal preference than anything, I cannot understand really why a car of such kind of high calibre, and having been breathed on by the M division at BMW and all the rest of it, and people rave about M cars, and rightly so, having owned this for a while now, everything they say is true, it's freaking amazing. But the outside of them, still, no matter which one you get, as far as I can tell, has kind of chrome trim and chrome bits and pieces all over it, which to me I just associate with the kind of four-door-y family model type 3 Series BMW, and it doesn't do a lot